Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Marble, which is on all par with everything except with the XCOM 2. I'm still doing the uploads there whenever I can and try not to overflow the Rumble feed there. Also, as always, I have the archive post there on the blogger, and I also post everything on Patreon for extra support. So we got some movement here regarding the 7900 XT in terms of pricing. Basically, AMD officially is cutting the price down to 750, give or take, even though we already have lower prices. In this case, with some of them with discounts with some coupons. I don't know where exactly. I think some of them are Amazon or Newegg or something like that. I'm not sure. Yeah, some of them are in Newegg. I think all of this is Newegg. I never recognize very well. They all seem to me the same. Yeah, but this is Newegg. The little X there. Yeah, interesting to see this movement. Again, my advice is to wait for the final for all the super series to launch, all the cards there, because there will be more adjustments, especially from AMD regarding pricing. Again, the 7900 XT, I think it's kind of an on par, at least in 1440p with a 4070 Ti. Kind of, not mistaken. From if my memory serves good, 7900 XT can be a little bit better than the 4070 Ti, especially in 4K in terms of overall performance. I'm not mistaken. 4040p, I think they trade blows here and there. But then again, competing with 4070 Ti, the super variant will be around $800. If they put it around 20% cheaper, give or take, it will be a more interesting deal there. Then again, the premium for the NVIDIA kind of a thing there, which is the LSS and fake frame rates and all that jazz, usually tends to be in a better quality in terms of visual fidelity. That's why I think it's a good option if you're more interested in rasterized performance and the fact that it has 20 gigabytes of memory. It will be way better in terms of 4K and its longevity in terms of the 4K rasterized performance, because even when you put ray tracing, usually it demands a little bit more VRAM, if not mistaken. And the fact that only now the 4070 Ti Super will have an upgraded VRAM capacity, I think it will be a more competitive regarding the 7900 XT. I think that's why they are basically discontinuing the 4070 Ti and the 4080 non-super variants there. But then again, we'll have to wait and see. I think the 4070 Super is still not very well received in terms of expected sales. Mainly again, it has around an average 15 to 20% uplift comparing to the 4070. It's kind of hard to keep track with all the naming schemes there, but yeah, I think there's a kind of a little bit uplifting in terms of performance. But then again, only 12 gigabytes. I think it's not a good not a good choice here, especially when you start putting 1440p in like higher quality stuff there. Then you put all the technologies that NVIDIA has, and the fact that it will not age very well, I think, especially of the new game engines that are coming, that they're becoming a little bit more demanding in the aspect of VRAM capacities there, and the fact that also the memory speed is not the best, only 21 gigabytes per second, I think. Yeah, even the 7800 XT or even better deals at that price range performance there. Even the 6800 XT, it's a very good deal with $500. 7800 XT, kind of, but it plays well better in 4K than even the 4070 Ti. I think it's almost equivalent in 4K, even though the performance in 4K in all of them is not the best, but it can manage a little bit better. But yeah, again, wait until the end of the month. That's my if you can wait at least till the end of the month, let the 4080 Super come out, see the reviews, the comparison between all the SKUs, even from AMD, see how it compares themselves with the comparison between price per frame, cost per frame. That's the word that I want to get out. The cost per frame stuff there, and maybe then we can get an analysis better for you to choose a better GPU for you. That's my main takeaway from this. But yeah, 7900 XT, if you really need, I think it's at $700. I think it's not a bad option here, even though $700 is a lot of money. Yeah, it's a lot of money. But yeah, and lastly, regarding hardware, we got an article here for the Frore AirJet stuff there, the AirJet Mini Slim. It's a little bit more in depth of the things that we are covering from CES and applications. You got some videos here when you can see like real life applications, for example, in more smaller devices like laptops, handhelds, like the gaming handhelds, and even I suppose even in tablets I can increase a little bit here in terms of performance, in terms of active cooling, because it's like basically silent. I think it's something to be considered here. But yeah, I think mainly it's going to be about laptops, like mini PCs or stuff like that don't need a lot of power, and some handhelds. I think it's going to be very interesting how they manage to cool the devices without basically making any noise, and it's an active cooling solution, which is very interesting. And it of course makes way less noise than a fan. But yeah, I will leave here this article that goes a little bit in depth on the technology itself and how it works, for you to check out if you want to. Regarding gaming news, we got some statements here from Larian boss Vink, I think he's called, the guy. It's how you pronounce, yeah, Vinks. He made a kind of a response regarding the Ubisoft thing that we covered yesterday, regarding people have to get used to not owning games. I'll just read here some quotes, and he's got a point. Basically, it's whatever the future of games looks like, content will always be king, but it's going to be a lot harder to get good content if subscription becomes the dominant model and a select group gets to decide what goes to the market and what not. Direct from developer to players is the way. Yes, ideally, he's right, which is direct to developer to players is the way, because usually publishers might, or usually they get in the way of just trying to get some money, giving the less they can deliver to the players there. But continuing, getting aboard to a project fueled by idealism is almost impossible, and idealism needs room to exist, even if it can lead to disaster. Subscription models will always end up being cost-benefit analysis exercises intended to maximize profit. And finalizing, there is nothing wrong with that, but it may not become a monopoly of subscription services. We are already all dependent on a select group of digital distribution platforms, and discoverability is brutal. Should those platforms all switch to subscription, it becomes savage. It's in such a world, by definition, the preference of the subscription server will determine what games get made. Trust me, you really don't want that. Yeah, basically, because it is, again, a cost-benefit analysis, what subscription services models are based upon. When you enter in that cycle, it's just with some 8 entry data points, they're just going to determine basically what is going to be made by the fact that they're going to make their cost-benefit more profitable or not, depending on those entry data points. And as any kind of creative work, being a painting, being a movie, being a game, if you just put some random formula and apply it and think that will sell. Usually in the long term it will not work. And you have examples like a lot of Ubisoft games and a lot of the EA games, especially some Activision also. I think one of the most recent ones is basically Diablo 4. They just stick to the formula and then just try to monetize it endlessly, that formula, which then loses the allure of playing, of having a good time with the game itself. And yeah, it's something that really don't want. Yeah, might as well play some solitary if that's the case then. But yeah, got a great point here. Of course, nobody is. I think in terms of analysis, they've been doing some analysis, and usually from what they could gather is that usually people use some subscription services mainly to check out games. They might be hesitant to buy, or they didn't, let's say, didn't pay too much attention, and if they find it a decent game, usually people will buy the game itself, even if it is at full price, because people know that by the end of it, you're just paying a subscription-based services. Basically, you're just paying access to a library of games that will change throughout time. So you basically are not owing anything. You're just renting the access to certain kind of services there, and that's and I think it's a good middle ground there if people use it as it is in this form. And I don't think it's a good formula because I don't think even developers want that. Having just access to a game by subscription, even though it might seem in mass numbers might seem enticing, I don't think people, the games don't have the same longevity, and people don't care that much about that game as it is in this owning the game per se. And we got a good example like Baldur's Gate 3, which again they will not do any kind of integration on something like Xbox Game Pass, at least anytime soon. Maybe in 10 years time they will, okay, let's put here, maybe we can get some sales out of it in a later time. But yeah, I don't think this is hopefully the subscription stuff will not cut on, and people will maintain the idea and owning something that you paid for. I think it's more than just and fair as a transaction by itself, and even if games were all digital, I think it's more than fair. If you pay for something, you get to own it, even if it is a digital one, because by the end of it, if it's not, people will stop buying stuff digitally and just start pirating for sure. They will find a way. At least that's like a trend for me that I've been seeing a lot. People just might as well spend a few minutes here trying to figure out a pirated copy and go about the doing that way, which is by the end is not good, because then the developers are not making money off the work they are putting in that game. But yeah, it is what it is at the moment. We'll see how it goes, hopefully for the better. Got some 20 minutes of new gameplay from Nightingale again. The gameplay that it's here shown off, it's very base, like seems kind of generic survival kind of game here with the, I don't know, we can cite 20 games and it seems the same game here, which is like the crafting and survival kind of a thing there. Still, the game still entices me. I'm kind of curious to see how this goes. This is from basically still from early access. This game will be in early access for around 8 to 12 months, I think, 9 to 12 months. And they will adding biome story missions and eventually the title of city itself, which I suppose it's Nightingale. But yeah, at this moment in time, from the footage that is here, at least from IGN that they published here, it's very generic survival crafting here. I don't know. It's just building a cabin there. I don't know how the survival and crafting stuff will be integrated on the world itself, and what kind of things you have to hunt, and what kind of side missions and missions you will be doing here. But again, this is early access. It will take a little bit more time, I suppose, to flesh out what they want to bring out. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Again, at least with the launch on 24th of February, the officially kind of the early access build there, hopefully we'll get a better sense of how this game will work, and I will try because it sparks my curiosity, mainly because of the setting and how things work, and even like the card system for the world building, and I didn't understand very well the mechanics of it, but yeah, because even in this game they didn't explain nothing regarding that. Doesn't have voiceover explaining stuff from the game, which I think it's a lost opportunity there. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I will try to keep up with this game as best as I can and let you know any kind of news. And lastly, we got here some corporate drama. Rockstar and Remedy enter trademark dispute over Remedy's new logo. I don't understand this. This was started by Rockstar or 2K. I think it's basically 2K over the Rockstar logo. This is something that it's happening in UK, kind of a judicial area, I think. At least that's from the news that we got. We don't know if in other regions it's the same thing. And basically what the 2K is claiming is that the R from Rockstar logo is very similar to the Remedy one, and people might confuse between each other, which is as you can see on the image. I don't know what kind of drugs they are using, but yeah, and especially the fact that at this moment in time Remedy is collaborating with Rockstar or Take-Two. I don't know specifically, but I think it's not Rockstar, regarding the remakes of Max Payne 1 and 2. Again, I don't know what the hell they are thinking here, but I assume this will be settled pretty quick, because as you can see, I don't see how people will confuse these two R's. And I think interesting the Remedy logo, it's quite interesting here. I don't know, it's basically 3 R's against 1 R with a star. Everybody recognizes the Rockstar logo. I don't know how people will mistake with Remedy logo here. Really, it's one of those things that baffles me. But yeah, 2K is very litigious in this way, always going around. There was some stuff regarding Borderlands a few years ago also. I think it's something regarding some leaks and stuff. They sued some guy that were talking about the Borderlands 3 stuff at the time. I don't remember the fine details of that issue, but yeah, they just sue everybody and everything when they don't like what they are saying. Basically, it's how 2K deals with things. It's one of those things I really don't understand. They just seems to like to bring bad publicity to themselves. And 2K is the only thing that they have saving grace is Rockstar with their games, with the GTA stuff. And basically it was Fire Access, which with XCOM 2, then with Midnight Suns. I don't know which kind of game they are working on. And of course XCOM 2 Chimera Squad, I think it's also from Fire Access. But yeah, this is what I got for today. Ending up in a corporate drama here. I'm just going to wrap up with some gaming deals. We still have Cult of the Lamp, 40% off on the base game. Then we have all the DLCs here, 36% if you buy all of the DLCs. We have Dead's Gambling Afterlife. It's got very positive reviews. I wishlist this game some time ago. It's kind of Metroidvania, Souls-like kind of a thing here. Yeah, seems interesting. It's one of those that seems to be pretty well made. Very positive reviews, which is always good to see. We got also Vampyr, 80% off, so around $8 or so, and you got basically $2 for the DLC. The Hunter's Heirloom DLC, I don't know if it is content or if it is just weapons or skins or something like that. But yeah, mostly positive, around 80% or so. Around 76%. Really interesting, mainly because it's vampire stuff. It's always interesting to see what kind of twist they put there. I think you were kind of a doctor, and then you got turned, and then there is like that dilemma of saving people or killing people. But yeah, I think you got some choices and consequences, so it's basically an RPG here. We got also the Plague Tale stuff still on the deal. The bundle is not on the deal here, so but the individual games are on the deal. So 80% on the first one and 55% on the second one. And on GOG we got the Bookwalker Thief of Tales. I've been highlighting this one on Steam, but at this moment is 35% off here on GOG. Again, no DRMs on every game that they have here on the GOG, so I think it's always a good thing here. And also No Man's Sky, 50% off, so $30 with huge amount of content to play with. Yeah, interestingly enough, around 140 hours to complete the game if you are a completionist, and main and side quests around 75, which is a lot of stuff to play around. And again, I will not compare this to Starfield because it's uncomparable the way they work in terms of the approach of the gaming stuff. But yeah, basically what I got here for today, guys. I'm just going to wrap up with a plug on my Patreon for extra support. That extra support will be mainly for storage, for me to be able to get backups for the stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, Kunamy Master out.